So hey, it's a podcast for MMA Next Level. I'm here with my buddy Mike Black. I call him Blackie, just so you guys all know. If you ever heard me referencing Blackie, it's not a pet. It's this guy. How long have we known each other, man? It's like when did we
I mean,
you
I've known you since 2000 and probably 16 when I got into coaching.
2000,
So
so
I
10
didn't know
years.
you I didn't know you really well then because I was just getting into coaching, and then when I made the move over to Summit at the time, I you and I became good friends at that point.
Best friends, yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago, bro. I'm trying to think like I was 40. I was in my 46, 47. Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Crazy, right? Yeah. We were in the green room chit-chatting, and you were telling me we were kind of talking, and you said you started to talk about what loan officers are talking about right now. I'm like, stop, let's turn the recording on. So tell me what you were going to say.
Well, I've been having a lot of conversations with all those lately, just other companies and through our coaching, and I think everybody's just having a hard time getting in front of agents, or when they do get in front of realtors, they don't know what to say. Yeah, it's the struggle out there. I mean, we've all felt it at some point in our careers, but I think we're really feeling it now.
It seems to me like the one I have this. I can't show it to you right now because it's in Becca's office, but I have this thing I made a long time ago, and it's to help me with my mindset. I just glance at it every once in a while, and I pulled up all the data on like closings and sales. So two different lines on it. In my market, in my markets that I'm in about seven markets in to find that because our business is kind of cyclical and seasonal, right? Cyclical because of the economy, seasonal because of the weather or whatever. Um, and I don't use it as a good enough tool, but the reason I'm telling you that crazy story is I find my loan officers get into a little bit of a like the blues in the summer blues.
Right. The blues for sure. I mean, but I think we all forget that it's the summer, and it always it always does this. I mean, if you mentally prepare yourself for that, you bring up another good point. Like I think part of the issue too, like with the mindset is like what we tell ourselves every day. I mean,
Yeah,
I work with my LLOs on that all the time. Like, if you think this market sucks, or you think this like market's hard, or you think whatever
then it
you're
is.
thinking, you're gonna believe it, right?
Then it is. If you think it's hard, then it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So just like I don't tell myself that. I literally have, you and I talk about the gratitude in the mornings, and like what we tell ourselves in the mornings, and that's where it starts. Like, because
5 minute journal, baby.
yeah, and I choose to wake up in a great mood every day, like, but because it's a choice, like how you wake up. But for me, I tell myself every day something that's going to happen in the second half of this year. Like this morning, I wrote down in my on my affirmations of myself. I said, I am going to beat or crush my goals this year, and it's going to happen in the second half. And that's just
Wow.
what I believe every day.
I I mean, I didn't know that was where we were going to go, bro, but I think it's at some point, once you've been a loan officer for more than 5 years, you can be a loan officer. Until then, you may not make it. But once you made it 5 years, if you really work hard and you hang around with the right people and you get mentored or coached, you can be a loan officer for your career. And dude, it's been a blessing for me. I know it has been for you too. Like I'm the
I never
luckiest man
thought, I
alive for
never thought,
falling.
I
So
never thought I'd be doing this 23 years later, but I just took a
no
job.
way, man. It's crazy. But
Uh,
like but once you do that, then a lot of it is mindset. And I so like you remember the Seinfeld episode that was like George Costanza was trying to get a job, or I think he got a job with the Yankees.
yeah.
And I don't remember it like super detailed, but basically he decided that whatever he thought he should do, he was going to do the opposite, right? Because he hadn't been successful yet or whatever. I don't know how he came up with that decision. And I know this is a stretch, but what most loan officers do during the summer blues is think, well, everybody's kind of taking time off, so I'm just going to chill. Realtors are, not many people doing opens, not real. You can see statistically less houses are selling, so it's not really me, and it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it. I've
I've
certainly
done
done
it.
it in Christmas time in January. I have for sure done it. Um, but like on that same that little that's like 2 feet by 3 feet with this, it looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. You heard me say that before because it's like slow in January and December, and the peaks are right before school gets out and right after school goes back in, and then a little slump in the summer. Anyways, um, I have uh, I have George Costanza's name on the chart so that when I look at it, I remember that I know I'm kind of goofy that way. That reminds me to do the opposite.
Yeah,
Right?
that's good. It's a buzzword if you look at
It's
that
like, hey
says.
man, it's summer slowdown. I should get after it. I shouldn't use it as a reason to chill.
I mean, I did it. I do the same thing. It's not George Costanza, but I feel like the summers it slows down, but it's also like such a great time to be out. Like in my market, especially in Chicago, it's been hard. And so like I've had more clients that have come through that were pre-approved over the last 6 to 12 months that have landed contracts in the summertime here.
Yeah.
So it's a really good time for you to look at George Costanza and say, I got work to do. I need to get on the phone and call people and let them know like now's it's opening, the window's opening up, the gap's opening up here. You're going to have probably a month, maybe two to get in
To originate.
before the fall market hits. And our fall market's not as crazy as our spring, but it's going to be competitive. It's still going to be there's still going to be like a competition out there. We're not seeing a lot of competition. Like we're probably seeing multiple offers with two or three on there. Like you can compete with that all day.
Oh yeah. It's like I have PTSD of when there was 22 offers on a house. You remember when there was like literally 20 offers on a house?
We've had that all spring market in my market. That's been what my markets look like. It's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. So, you said you had been talking to loan officers and they don't know what to say to realtors. So during the summer slowdown, what do you, first of all, what's the most volume you ever did in a year non-COVID?
I mean, I'm around like 70 to 80.
Million?
Yeah, on top
It's
of
a pretty
running
good
our
loan
bank.
rep, Mike. Let's top 1/10 of 1%, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's not kind of good, man. And you're one of our coaches, and I appreciate you for that. And I know you've made over a million a few times, so super qualified. So what conversation, like when you're talking to these loan reps, what are you telling them to talk with realtors about?
Yeah, I just think the conversation is different right now, right? I mean, it's like the realtors don't want to meet with us because we've burnt so much of their time, and there's no value adds when that meeting takes place, right? There's no discovery. There's no like one of the things I think is the most important thing because even my best agents have problems. Like
Have problems?
they've got issues. They got
Oh
things.
yeah.
They got
My,
things
my
and gaps.
issues have issues, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's been something that we as loan officers have never looked at. Like, what are the issues? Where do they need the most help? How can I fit in and add the most value without having to pay for all your Zillow stuff? Like that's like there's either you're gonna pay me for Zillow or you're gonna like find out what really makes me tick and what I need in my business to take my business up even higher and make more money.
I wouldn't, I never is too strong a word. I only once, but other than that, I would never pay for Zillow unless they were already my client.
Yeah.
Because if I pay for Zillow to get their business, then it's transactional to your point, and you're not going deep. And you know what I found is up because I've done it with like some of my team members. I put them on the Zillow account with the Zillow loan realtor, And what I found is we expect it. Oh, we paid, so like we don't treat the realtor the way we should be treating the realtor. Like the loan, like because we're paying, we're like we expect it, and then all we do is contaminate the relationship, right? Because now we come off with this energy of for sure not service, right? And now there becomes resentment, and then pretty soon you're like sick of paying the bill, so you call them and say you're not sick, and then you never talk to them again.
Yeah.
And you burn through
Yeah.
those like you're like, dude, that don't work.
So yeah, you're exactly right. And so like I think the conversations need to change that you're having right now. If you're struggling, even getting in front of the agents is hard enough, but like what do you do when you get there? And so, we do a lot of like training and coaching on like that two-step close and setting up a different, like I talked to an LO last week and he's kind of newer in the business, but he said I've been telling him you need to get out there. He's newer. He was on an online lender before. Now he's shifted over to the retail side. And I said, you just need to get out and meet some people. Like that's really what you need right now. You need a network around you. You need to meet not just agents, but just everybody right now. I talked to him last week. He said, I had two meetings with a realtor. And I go, how'd it go? And he goes, well, the first one I think went okay. I mean, I don't know how she felt about me, but I think it went okay. And we parted ways. And the second one, I think she liked me, but I don't know. And I'm like, did you set up a second meeting with him? And he said, no. Was I supposed to? And I said, they're not going to talk to you again. It's okay. Like move
Yeah.
on to the next. So it's just that discovery process, that first meeting for me, and I know you think the same way, but it's all about finding out one, if you're a good match with each other, but two, like what are their bottlenecks in their business? Like where are they struggling? Like you're trying to find out like if you can fill that need and fit in with that process. Sometimes you just can't.
Like a lot
But
of times you can't. More
yeah,
times than not, you can't. And like I was just thinking about something while you're talking, I got all excited because it flashed a memory back. It's like if you're newer, either you're rebuilding, maybe you're re-engaging in the business, maybe because you need to, because you don't have enough money to retire, but you thought you did, or whatever. Or you're brand new, right? Because there's a lot of the average age of a loan officer for the first time is declining. It was up to 56.
really?
It was up to 56 right after COVID, after all that flushing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So for the first time since COVID, it's starting to go down. And my nephew, his name's Jake. He's not really my nephew, bro. He's like one of my total homies for 30 years, kids that lived across the street. So he's Jim, he's my nephew. And he wanted to get in the business. And he did a summer intern with me and was really good. He's a loan officer. And the same story. And what it does, and it made me remember this. You go out on realtor meetings. You don't have a professional process that you go through. Maybe you pitch something all the time without even finding out if they need it, or maybe you just chat with them and try to use your charm and your rapport skills. And then they smile and you smile and you think it went pretty good. You're like, oh, it was nice to meet you. And there's no request for a relationship. There's no asking for the business. And sometimes even if there is, um, those new people they leave that meeting and they never hear from that realtor again. So now they think they're just no good at this.
yeah, that happens.
And then
Well, and
now
the
you
other
don't
thing
want
is
to, and now you don't want to do it anymore. And now you're
and
looking for a
that
job. Now you better
that
start
leads
looking for a job.
yeah, and that leads to lack of follow-up. So there's Tom and I have a process right now where we're meeting a lot of financial advisors and um but the process is broken. Like how much are you following up? I think a lot of us think that we go on a good meeting and it's like that's it. That's all you need to do. And they don't follow up. Or maybe they do for like a week or two or three. But sometimes I think I've heard you say before, you cracked up on the nut after like 2 or 3 years of follow
Years. The longest is 8 years. Her name's Kelly Pressler. You can call her and ask her.
yeah. So like that's once you get the meeting and you have a good conversation, you discover some problems and you set up the second meeting, which is the two-step close that we've all been trained on over the years. Um, then it all becomes a game of follow up, follow through. And I'm still finessing that right now because there's some relationships and I had some great meetings. I get too busy. So what do I
Yeah.
do? We're working on a process right now we used to call it the 10-week follow up, but like,
10
I
by
don't
10.
think it's 10 weeks. I think it's like
Yeah.
infinity, an
Yeah.
infinity
I think
follow
it's how long will you do weekly follow-up? When do you switch it to quarterly, right? And
up.
when do you give up? So my answer for give up is never. And my answer for weekly is about 10 weeks and then quarterly. Um, but you're sparking all these memories of stuff I've learned over the years. It's crazy. It's like I always say this, but your skills are constantly diminishing, no matter what. Like in
Right.
golf, they're constantly diminishing. The more you practice and play, you can actually grow your skills. And if you practice and play the right amount, you might be able to maintain your skills. But for all of us, mostly they're constantly diminishing, and we constantly got to relearn the same thing, which is kind of fun, but it's also kind of frustrating. But so like, what are your favorite questions at the end of the first meeting with a realtor? One, like your top one or two questions that you think that you would share with your nephew if you
Yeah.
wanted him to make it in the mortgage business, or your niece if you wanted her to make it in the mortgage business, and you were teaching this the first meeting, you were teaching how you do it and what you do, and then if you were going to say, hey, and no matter what, you got to remember to ask these one or two questions that have the most effect for you in your business, what would they be?
Um, well, during the meeting, is
Yeah,
that
the
kind of
first meeting, like I
yeah.
have one or two go-tos I'm going to share, but I want to know like what's something it
Yeah.
almost always happens.
Well, I mean, tell me a little bit about your business. I want to know where it comes from. Like, how do you get business right now? Or the answer could be, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah, but I want to find out like in that question, is that the right fit for me? Like if it's like, hey, I just pay for leads all day long, it's probably not a good fit for me. And it's okay to end meetings early. If you like aren't feeling it, like I've done that a lot, but it
Oh yeah,
doesn't happen very often. I mean, but
because if you're
um
feeling that, they're feeling it too.
yeah, I want to know what their goals are this year, why they got into real estate in the first place. That's a big question I ask. Like, how did you get into this crazy
And
business?
why?
And why? For a variety of reasons. Like if it's part-time or my husband's a doctor, like, and I just do this part-time, like it's
Or your
probably
wife's
not
a lawyer and you're like chilling at home. Yeah.
wife's a lawyer, I get one or the other, but like, but how'd you get in this crazy business? Tell me a little bit about your team structure. Do you have a team? Do you not? Are you looking to build a team? Is that something that's important to you? And then, I love like just finding out like what are your biggest frustrations with my world, the lending world? What are your biggest frustrations in your world right now? And what are some like maybe one or two things that you set out to do last year that maybe you're not on pace for this year that you really want to
Oh, say
hit?
that one again. That's the good one.
Yeah, like what are one or two things that you set out for to do last year that you didn't hit, or maybe you're like behind on this year that are really important to you? Personally or professionally, I like to know both.
Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
That's the best question. That's a great question. It's so much smoother than the way I ask it. I'm gonna copy that because I say like, what's one project? Yours is smoother. Um,
Well, and keep in mind when you're going through this, like I'm just listening. Like I don't,
do
I'm
you take
taking notes.
notes?
I take notes. I carry a notebook in with me like this, and I write down like all those questions. In fact, I've got numbers already listed down, and I know the questions in my head because I've done it so many times.
So
So
you
I
have like
know,
something to remind you to keep you on pace.
yeah, yeah. And then another question that I love to ask, just what was the hardest thing you've ever done in your life
Oh,
that you've overcome, or you're like maybe you're still struggling with? I've got my hard things that like you and I have talked about. Like I quit drinking. Like it's not easy. All my friends like go out and drink, and yeah, I enjoy the not hangover world these days, but like it's hard. Like it's hard being around like Happy Van Winkles and things that I like, and like, but it's all up here,
I call
right?
it C. I call it C and D. You know what that is?
Yeah. What
Currently
is
not
it?
drinking.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I like to find out what their challenges have been in like either their business or their life. Like, what's something that you've overcome that you're proud of, or maybe you're still battling with.
Wow, that's a good one. I've never asked that in a meeting ever once.
You know,
And I've
I
been
think
teaching this
I
stuff for a
think the
long time.
common
That's a
mistake.
really good one.
Yeah, I think the common mistake that we all make when we're sitting across, and I think you might have taught me this, but you or Todd, one of the two, but is just we ask a lot of closed-ended questions. And, I've got a whole library of like open-ended questions that I like to like comb through before the meeting, just to say like, these are a few questions that I really want to tackle today at that meeting. And it gives me an opportunity to listen and open up. And I think that's where the relationship becomes a whole, right?
That's a really
So
good question. That's a really good question. And I don't know why, because
Mm.
I asked that question when I interview. Like I've hired at one point, I went back and counted it, but I've had over 70 LP1s myself. I've been doing it 30 years. So if you can do the math, that's two a
Yeah.
year. But at one point, I had like three on my team at one time, right? So, and it's an entry level position, but I've done a lot of interviewing of people that I'm potentially going to hire. And when I'm interviewing them, I ask questions like that. And the most important thing in the first meeting is, it's kind of bold, but I think it's important, is to let them know in a humble, polite way that you're also interviewing them.
Yeah.
Like I won't just work with anybody. I don't want to work with everybody.
I don't
I
either.
couldn't, but I also don't want to.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for, I always say what I'm looking for is a group of realtors I can take care of at a high level, 10 to 20, and that are like-minded in business and that want to work with my lending team, right? And we want to work with your real estate team because that's when the magic happens. And if it's
And
just me,
that I enjoy being around.
yeah,
I went back. One of the things I did after the pandemic, I was working with like 80 or 90 realtors, and it was just I wasn't not having any fun, even though like it was a really busy time. But like I went back and I calmed that down to like my top 15 to 20 that the criteria was they work like me, they're hard workers, they're driven, and then the other part of it was I enjoy being around them. And that was like the two main things that I focused on is do I enjoy like going out with them? Do I enjoy learning more about them, talking to them about their families? Like, do I enjoy spending time with them and talking to them on the phones? And I think that's made the business fun for me again.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would rather go deeper with 10 to 20 and then have like we teach our play, the play we teach our students to run is go deep with 10 to 20 and wide with 1,000. The wide with 1,000, you don't have relationship with them. You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You give, you're in front of them. That's what you use social for. You use our mastermind thing, mastermind realtor event once a month to invite them to, and you'll get some business from them without having to go deep because you can't, even if you wanted to, you can't go deep with, definitely for me, it's somewhere in between 10 and 20. And
Yeah.
it depends on what's going on in my life at the time.
I agree. 100%.
Before I had kids, it was 20. When I had my first kid and they were little, it was still 20 because my wife stayed home. Once those little guys got to be fun, it was 10 because I wanted
Yeah.
to go home and hang out with them. So I had
Same.
to be more picky about the 10. Um, but like for me, I have the same thing you're talking about. I hate this word, but the modern word is avatar, which makes me think of the movie with the blue people. You don't really get it.
I do too, though.
Perfect client, right? Perfect client for me is primary wage earner for their house. Preferably their spouse doesn't earn. They have to do a certain amount of business. For me, it's about 40 sides a year. That's a professional realtor. 3 sides a month. That's a stud.
Yeah.
And they're making good money. They have a team. They don't do it all themselves. They don't panic when a deal doesn't close because they've got others closing. Yeah. And they have mentors and seek mentors. They don't
Yeah.
think they know it all. Like if I have all four of those, man,
Good
I'm
money.
gonna really work hard at getting them to love me and finding something I love about them so the relationship's easy because those are the ones for me that last. So,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of them. That's the problem. You got to kiss a lot of frogs. Like the thing I always say, and I want to ask you this is, hey, how many people were in your high school?
You asked me that
I'm
question.
asking you.
My graduating class there was like 1,100.
So you got like 5,000 people in your high school.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. How many were your homies?
Probably about 10. Like, I mean,
So
today, like five.
of those high school kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
that first of all, that proves you're good at deep relationships. But like
Yeah.
in high school, only 10 of those people, you liked them a lot and they liked you a lot.
Yeah.
There's 4,000 people you could have been homies with, and there was only 10 that fit.
Yeah.
So you had talked to, I don't know, more than 1,000, 2,000 of them other kids, and it didn't fit
Yeah.
for whatever reason. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with realtors.
It's the same.
It's
And
the
I think
same
you
thing.
you brought up a really good point. Like I think that's another mistake that we all go after and do. Like you talk about qualifying, like, and again, it's just you don't want to waste time on the ones that waste time. Like like that's how I look at it. And I think there's too many times vampires out there that like will suck your time and take you. You want to go to lunch all the time, but they don't do any business.
You know,
But you think mentally they do, and maybe it's good practice for like a new like a low getting in the business to go out those types of agents just to get like some practice. But you have to qualify people these days. You have to know who your audience is, and that doesn't make the whole thing just automatic. It's just I know this appointment's worth me going on. That's huge. Like what you said earlier about qualifying the
it's
agent.
yeah, it's 100%, yeah, 100% right. Um, what are you working on? Like, what's your mission for the rest of the year? Like, what we
Um,
got taught that by Todd, being clear on your mission. And we learned that from the the church we were when we first when the company first started, we happened to be going to the same church, and the pastor of that church had a mission for every 6 months, and he would make this cheap, well, not cheap, but it was a really nice church, but it was like this banner that looked like kind of half done. And he would hang it like four different places, whatever the mission was. So you saw it every time you went into the church. And uh and so every 6 months now I do a mission for me and my team, right? So what's the biggest mission we're working on? So do you have one for the end of the year, till the end of the year?
right here, man. My mission is to beat you this year. That's what we're working on.
You swear?
I swear, it's
I am
listed as
so glad you told
it's
me, bro,
listed
because
as
I am
number
going to
two.
buckle down and beat your ass.
Yeah, it's listed as number two, but that is our mission right now is to finish number two. I mean, I can't beat the number one because they're just too massive, but like to come in second would make us really proud. And then from a volume perspective, we're not going to be the unit guys, but we got six LOs in our branch. We run like a powerhouse. I mean, my mission is to get every one of these guys hitting their
And the
goals
girls?
this year. That's
Yeah.
all including myself, but I want every one of my LOs to hit their goals this year because mission accomplished. And that's what we set out for when we put our goals in place for the year. And we just did a reset on it again this year. And we didn't reset anything because we're ahead of goal right now. And so like, that's what I'm really working on. And the other thing too is I'm working on just myself. Like I'm working on being like better husband, a better dad, like spending more time with my son, like and I don't know, I've been working out 5 days a week. I've just been working on my health a lot this year because without your health, you got nothing.
That's so good, man. I'm glad you shared that with me.
Were we gonna talk about budget today?
So I want to finish with this. I've seen you guys in your branch stumble more than once, and
Yeah.
sometimes market, sometimes stuff beyond your control, and sometimes maybe stuff you guys weren't doing right. Um, Lack of focus, drifting. But you guys have always, at the end of the day, what I've admired about you guys, you and Tom together. First of all, it's not easy doing a partnership on a branch. It's not. And second of all, um, what I previously said is that you guys seem to seemingly never give up and bounce back. So, do you feel like that's true?
I totally do. I mean, this our branch has been through a lot, like over
So,
the
what makes you
last.
guys not give up, and how do you keep getting up off the canvas?
It's constant coaching. Like
Yeah.
we like every week we have a coaching call. Our LOs like that a lot, and it's yeah. I'll never stop originating. Like I think that I have to be in the trenches with these guys, and and I've been our number one guy in our office, so like I set the benchmark. Like come get me. You're like that too. I know because I've seen it, but I just feel like if I remove myself from originating then it's hard for me to coach. And I love coaching these guys up and helping them get better. So I think that constant like coaching, I think the culture you build in your branch is big. I think coming into the office every day, that's
Mm,
huge.
huge.
Like, if you're not in the office, you're on an island. And we talked about isolation is like, I don't know, you call it the kiss of death.
Yeah.
It really truly is. And I see it more and more as I talk to more LOs out there. And, working from home is fun at first, but once you get about 6 months to 2 years into it, it sucks.
Production goes up. They track this. You let people work from home, productivity goes up over the first quarter, maybe even the first 2 quarters, and then it plateaus and starts steadily declining. It's proven, right? So
So,
isolation is the problem, connection is the solution.
yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. In
Yeah.
fact, I never worked from home throughout the entire pandemic. And I think that's what pushed us to be I think that's what really got us through the tough times is that everyone came in. We had, branch outings, we did things together, like that togetherness, that competition, that camaraderie, like all of that is like the formula for like keeping the office like a family, right? And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I don't know. We've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and even this year has been one of the toughest I can remember in a long time. But gosh, I mean, we haven't skipped a beat. We just kept going, and so I think for any of your listeners out there, like ask yourself, like, am I getting that direction? Am I getting that push? Am I getting that someone holding me accountable, holding my feet to the fire? Do I have the support that I need? Like all of that, like is big to make it in today's market. It's hard. So the collaboration, sharing ideas, constant coaching, I think that's a big piece of why we've been had the success that we've had. Really do.
Totally. And I'm super stoked for October, our first big event since the merger between MMA and Next Level that you'll be at. And so that's in October. If you want to find out more and you're listening, just go to MMAnextlevel.com. And you can also get some time with Mike if you want. He's one of our coaches, one of our best coaches, one of our most requested coaches lately. So thank you for doing that. And thanks for giving back because being a coach is people don't do it for the money, you know, but
Yeah.
it does help you be a better originator yourself. So thanks for that, brother. I'll see you.
Appreciate you, Jimmy.
All right.